Hey everyone, welcome back. So in today's video, we are going to learn another topic in Python, that is regular expression, or we call it regex for short. So you can consider regex as one of the control F methods that you do. Right? So you do a control F to search something. So similarly, regular expression is also control F functionality, but it is more powerful than control F. You can customize, or you can limit what you want to search, or you can program your search in such a way that it matches your search conditions. Okay, so let's create a file for regex.py. And to start with regular expression, we need to import an existing library. So it's called re. So it's a module. So you'll say import re. Now, basic search will first start, and we'll first try to locate a text in a main string. Okay. So let's say we have a string which is the rain is raining in the sun. Now here, if you want to search the word rain, so search is simple. You'll just say re dot search, and you'll say what do you want to search. I want to search rain. And where you want to search, I want to search it in my str. I'll just say print regular expression. Okay. Now if I run this, what do I get? It says it matched an object with span 4 to 8. Match is rain. Alright. So it matched the word rain. Now similarly, we have another keyword. It's called re.match. Now if we run this, what do we get? So it returns nothing here. Why? Match will only start from the beginning. Match will only search from the beginning. Now, so if I have the here, and if I try to search it, this time this should return me. So it says it matched in the span 0 to 3, and the match is the. Alright. So match starts only from the beginning, search will search anywhere in between. Okay, and it will return you. Now there is a third one which we call, let's try to print. Same thing, instead of match, it's called find all. So find all will return all the positions of rain. Okay, let's run this. If I run this, it returns me rain twice because it is twice in the string. Now let's say you want to search the position of where the match was found. So if you see, when we were trying to do re.search, we got a span 4 to 8. Now what I want, I just want to portray this more efficiently in a very readable manner. Comment this one, and let's say we have the same thing. Okay. We have the same string, and in here we are saying match is equals to re dot search. This time I'll search for raining. Okay. And in string, what do we do? Print a very user friendly message. You would have to say if match. So if there was a match, what would you print? I'll print match, or let's say match found. And in this, if you want to print the location, you will say print start position, and you will say match dot start. Okay. Similarly, end position is match dot end, and you will say print span is match dot span. So this is if it is found, and if not, then you'll write else and say print no match found. Now let's run this. So it says match found, starting position is 12th, end position is 19, and if you see the span, it's the same thing, 12 to 19. Okay, so this way you can search for a particular string in a main string so that you get the position of your occurrence of your variable or occurrence of your string. All right, now this is pretty simple. Now let's see some meta characters. Meta characters are some special symbols which substitute the string, or which substitute the characters in your strings. So they substitute the actual alphabets or the digits from your string, and you can provide some special meta characters which will help you to do that. Let's take an example on meta characters. Let's first comment this and we'll say meta characters. So let's take the first one. Let's take a string. Now here we'll take a string called ACB, and we'll take the first meta character that we are going to use is dot. So I'll say print re dot. I won't use findall. I'll use match because I want to start from the first. I'll say re dot match, and I'll give here a dot b, and I'll pass str. In my str, search for this pattern a dot b. So it starts with a, ends with b, and can have only one character in between. Okay. Now if I run this, what it says there's a match found which starts with 0, ends with 3, matches ACB. Now let this be here. I'll just reuse the same thing and I'll change the characters. Now in the next one, if I say if I have ADB, if I run this, again it will say match is found because it is just searching for the boundaries A and B, and it should have one character in between. Now if I use the same example and if I give two characters in between, what happens if I run this? It will say it is not found because I'm just trying to find just one character. So AC dot will use only one character. All right. Now moving on to the next one, we have the power symbol. What we mean here is we have the power symbol. So what this will do? This will match the start of the string. Okay. Matches the start of the string. So let's say we have use. So we have a string called hello world. Now what I want to match, I just want to see if my string starts with hello. All right, so I'll give a symbol like this and I'll say hello, and I'll just try to print here. So what will I get? It will again return me that match is found with hello on this particular location. So it's starting with hello, right? Now similar example, if I have say hello world as the same word itself, it will still find me and it will still return me the location of it. But if I say give a space here, or if I write anything else in the front, okay, this time it should not return me anything. So it will return none because it will only check if it matches from the start, and my starting is a space here. So this won't return me a matching string. Now similarly we have the dollar sign. So we have, so this matches the end of the string. Similarly we have, instead of matching the first one, we'll say world and we'll give a dollar towards the end. Now let's run this one. So why did it return me anything? So the reason is match starts from the beginning of the string. So instead of using a match, you will have to write search. All right. So I had explained you here. So match will only start from the beginning, or it will search only from the beginning. So we'll have to use search here. All right. Let's run this again and see. So this time it returned the position of the character saying the match was found here. Now similarly, if you try to modify these, I had hello world. Now if I want to say goodbye world, in this case also, this will return me the position. But if I have to say, I'll write a word called worldwide. All right. So this time, this won't return me anything. The reason is it should end with just word. The last word should be world. Even though worldwide is a single word, it would not return me any occurrence or any position of my string. Moving on to the next one, we have star. Okay, so star matches to one or more occurrence of your string. Okay, so star matches one or more occurrence of string. All right, so let's take examples on these. Let's say we have same. Let's say we have Google here. I'll give G O star GLE of previous string. Alright, so what this will do is, if you have a star, it will take the previous character and it will search for it for one to many occurrences. Okay, I'm running this and I'm getting that match is found GLE, which is after this. Okay, right. So what it is doing is it is actually picking up. It is actually picking up the previous character, which was O, and it is ignoring the number of occurrence that it has, and it is returning me the rest of the string. So if you see here, it just returns me GLE. Now, even if I write here as, oh sorry, even if I take the same example, I print here, I give multiple O's here, okay? And if I run this, it will still return me that GLE is the end, which is the matching string that I'm returning from this pattern. Now, in this pattern, if I just change it to match the whole character, right? So let's run this. So now it will return me the whole string. So I was giving a wrong expression here. It should be just the O's ignored and rest of it is present here. So I'm just refining my pattern. All right. So it will return me Google, and the second one will return the whole multiple O's here. And similarly, we have the plus keyword. Okay. We have the plus keyword or plus meta character to match one or more preceding characters. Alright. So we'll take the same example and we'll just change it to plus here. And we'll see what the difference is. So now we have this, we'll give plus here and we'll run this. I'm still running the first one. Okay, I just want to add another example here. So let's say I have an example here which is no O's in it. Okay, I'll just write GLE. Now if you see here, I use the plus one and it returned me Google here, right? Now if I use the same thing and here I'm just trying to change to no O's here. Now the first one returned me the position, the second one will return me none. So only difference between the plus and star is the star will match for 0 or more preceding characters and plus will match 1 or more preceding characters. Alright, so plus, to use plus, there should be at least one O present. Moving on, we have a question mark meta character. Okay, so we have to match 0 or 1 preceding characters. Now let's take the same example here and I'll just give a question mark. What happens here? Now this one, if you see, will again return me none. Why is that? Because it is searching for only one or more, but in my string there are two O's, so it's returning me none here. So if I change this, to say just one single O, now if I run this, what happens? It should return me a position, right? So question mark will search for only 0 or 1 occurrence. So a practical example to it would be color is one word, and in a different accent, in an American and UK accent, color is also U here, color, right? In here, if I want to search whether my word has a U in it or not, in that case, I am going to use a pattern here. I'll say COLOU question mark R. Okay. So this will search if it is U or not. So it will run for both the strings. If I run this, it matches the color with U. And if I want to run it for color without U, it would still pass or it will still return me the position. So this was on meta characters. Now moving on, we have character sets and quantifiers. So what are these? Now if you want to match multiple characters, okay, or list of characters inside a string, and check whether they are found or not. Okay, so how would you do that? So for that you need character sets. How you define that? You define that in a square bracket. We'll say print re dot search, or let's say re dot find all, because there will be multiple characters. And here I am going to write a literal R, and with R I'm going to set my string here. I'll just say aeiou. I'm just trying to capture all the vowels. All right. In what? In my character, let's say it is alphabet. Let me comment the previous examples. Find all. So in this, I'm trying to find the alphabet in the vowels inside alphabet. What are found? Okay. So let's run this. What it says? It says A-E is found. Alright, so it is trying, it is just searching for the character sets inside the square bracket. Okay, now if you notice, I have written a literal R here. What is R? So R will tell the Python not to interpret backslashes or escape characters. Okay, the reason is we have a lot of regular expression which uses backslashes. So using an R will make it treat like a raw string rather than treating slash n as a new line, slash t as a tab space. Okay. So it will ignore all of these. It will just treat it like a normal raw string. Let's take some example on the other regular expression that we can have, or where we use the R keyword or the predefined literals inside regular expression. The first one that we are going to see is slash d. What this does, matches the string for numbers. How? Let's take an example. We'll say result is equals to re dot find all r slash d, and in my string I'll say abc123. Now I have both alphabets and numbers, and I'll print my result. Print my result. What it will return? It will return only the numbers from my string. So it returned only the numbers, because slash d will take only the digits or the numeric value from the string. Now, if you want to find the position for all the matches in the string, okay, so there is another method to it. So let's say we have a string called, we'll write it, the item number 11 costs $44. Okay, so this is my string. Now what I want to extract both the new digit part of it. So I want the position for both the occurrences. So how will I find it? So we have we have to write a loop for it. So we'll say for item in re dot find iter, and we'll give slash d and my string. Okay, find iter. All right. Now here we'll say print item dot group at index item dot span. Now let's run this. What do I get? So it will return me the position of where the numbers is found. So the group specifies the character that it find in the string, or the pattern it found in the string, and the position is 16 to 18. The second one is again 44. The position is 25 to 27. Right. So this is how you find all the occurrences of your string, or of a particular word inside your string. All right. So there, I mean, a lot of people ask this in an interview as well, like how do you use regular expression to find occurrence of certain characters multiple times, or it may be a bit tweaked around, but the core logic remains this only. So you have to use this expression, and you can tweak your regular expression in however they want it. Okay. Now moving on to the next one, we have slash w, which matches only the words. Slash w matches the word character plus number plus underscore. Again, result is equals to re dot find all, but instead of d we'll take w here, and we'll give a string which has all of what we want, what we are trying to search here. Right. So let's take here, instead of abc123 is there, I'll add an underscore as well here, and abc123 I'll give 2 exclamation marks as well. right? So what this will return? This will return me the string, but it will ignore the exclamation mark that I gave, right? Let's run this first. So it returns me ABC123, but it removes the other special characters that I provided here. Now here, from here, we can define a boundary, or say you want to search for a certain word that is independently appearing in your main string. Let's say you want to search for the word cat, and in your string, you should match cat. So this should be matched with only cat, not something like catalog. So to achieve this, we have to define a word boundary, saying I am just going to search for this word boundary, and apart from this, this should not be taking any other words which is part of some other word. Okay. So let's say we are going to use word boundary. To use that, what do you have? We have /b. Okay, we have /b for defining boundaries. So let's take an example again. We'll again say result is re.find /b cat /b. Okay, so this is my boundary that is defined. Now I want a string which makes up to this expression, right? So I'll say the cat is not in catalog. So I have a cat here, I have a cat here also. But if you use a word boundary, it will only give you the occurrence of first cat, not from catalog. Okay. Now let's run this. Hold on. There is some error. What did I do? Oh, this is the culprit. There's a plus that it automatically added. Okay. So this should be fine now. Yep. So it gave me just the cat from my main string. So this is how you define a word boundary when you want to search in a regular expression. Now, another thing that we want to discuss here is if you want to search for some literals, or say there is double backslash. Okay, so you want to search that in your regular expression. Okay, so how would you search that? So here I just want to pass it as a raw string, as simple as that. I'll just say just use 2 backslashes. Now this is also a literal here, right? Double slash, but it would still, the regular expression will still find these double slash in my result. Now let's run this. So it returned me double slash here. Okay. All right. So next thing that we want to see here is grouping. Okay, grouping is very important when you want to build some complex regular expression. So there are two concepts here, grouping and naming. So we'll first take grouping here. We'll say grouping. Now where is this useful? Say you have a date to match, okay, or you want to match a particular string whether it is in a date format or not. Okay, so let's say you have a date is equals to, and it will have 2025 2025 hyphen 05 hyphen 13. Now this date you have to match whether this string has a date or not in this particular pattern. So let's first create our regular expression. We'll say result re.search, and we will first pass it as a raw string. We'll open a round bracket. Inside this, what do we want? We want a digit first. So if you see the pattern, the first is 4 digits. So how do you write 4 digits in a regular expression? You will write /d for digit, and when you are specifying the number of characters, you have to give curly bracket and write the number of characters here. So I want the first group should have 4 digits. And then what do you want? You want a hyphen here. Again, you want a second group, which will again be a number. And this time it should be of 2 digits. And the third one that you want, it should also have 2 digits in it. So this is my regular expression that I'm going to search. And I'm going to search it where? I'm going to search it in my date. So it should be a pattern, and I'm going to search it in my date variable. Now you can also print the groups. Okay? Instead of just printing the result, you can also print the groups. So let's say if I want to print the result, what do I write? I'll say print result. If I want to print it in sections or group wise. How will I print? I'll say print result dot group and we'll say 0 here. Again, I'll say print group 1. So it will print you the year. Print group 2 will print you the month. Third group, which is the date. Okay. And if I say print, there is another thing called groups. It will print all the part of my regular expression. Okay. Let's run this. Okay. So group 0 will print the entire match in itself. Okay. So group 0 will print the entire match. Group 1 will print the first group, the second group, third group, and the groups will print you all the groups in a tuple format. So now while you are building these logic ahead, so this gets complicated when you add more stuff to it. Okay. So one way to handle or one way to remember what we are doing here is if you name those groups. So I'm using the same pattern that we just made. So in this one, to name it, I'll give question mark P, open close angular bracket. Inside angular bracket, I'll write year. Similarly, in the second one, I'll go and write question mark P, open angular bracket. Inside this, I'll say month. In the third one, I'm going to write question mark P and I'll say day. Okay. So what I did here, I just named my groups inside my regular expression to understand what I am doing here. Okay. So this is my search pattern that I'm searching here. So what I'm going to do here is I'll name this as pattern is equals to, I'll give this as my pattern. So this is my pattern that is ready. Now what I want to do, I want to do a match here. So I'll say match because I want to run it from the front. Match is equals to re.match. I'll say pattern and the date. And I'll say print match group. I'll say year. Clear? Now if I run this, what do I get? My match happened here. In my match, I am just printing the group using the name that I just specified. So all of this was to find a particular occurrence in your string. Now what if you want to substitute a string? So you want to do a replace. So to use replace, we have dot sub. Let's see how this works. So let's take another text. Let's say my text is equals to the sky is pink. To replace it, what I'll do, I'll say print because I want to see the values as well. So I'll say print re.sub. I'll use a raw string first. I'll use inverted comma what string I want to search for. So I want to search for pink. And what will I do with pink? With pink, I'm going to replace it with blue. And where I want to do this, I want to do it in my text. Now let's run this. So it prints the sky is blue here. Before this, we had seen multiple ways to find. So once you have found your string, you can use the sub method to replace it with your some other string that you want. One more topic inside this is greedy versus non-greedy. Greedy versus non-greedy. Now let's say you have a HTML code. Let's say you have a text P, a paragraph basically. It says hello slash P. Again a P, says world, again a slash P. Okay. So this can occur when you are using Selenium. So you want the text between these paragraph tags. So how are you going to extract it? So you are going to say print re dot find all open bracket r give a colon, give p here dot star, anything in between this, and you are just going to close and you'll say print me this. Let's run this and see what do we get in our output. It gives you a single string matching the whole character or the whole word or the whole text that you gave there. So in my scenario, if I have two paragraph tags opened and closed, it should give me two different paragraphs saying there were two matches. This was one, this was second. So this is a greedy method. greedy method to do that. So it tries to capture as much as possible. To handle this, you have to use dot star with a question mark, because question mark will match only for 0 or 1 occurrence. Okay? So it will try to take everything that is between paragraph only for one instance, and then it will again do a second match. And let's print this, what it gives me. It is returning me two different objects here, right? So this will be very helpful while you are working with Selenium, because you will have to work across a lot of regular expression while you are trying to match your strings in the actual applications. Now similarly, using regular expression, you can build a email validator, you can build a phone number validator, you can build a hashtag validator, or you can extract hashtags from a particular string, you can do a password validator. So the scope is limitless with regular expression. But despite being so powerful, even regular expression has some disadvantage. The main disadvantage we just saw, the greediness of your regular expression. So if you have a pattern that you have built, or a complex a regular expression that you have built, and which is more like has a greedy pattern, the dot star pattern, right? So it can lead to a very long runtime. Even sometime it crashes. Okay? And the second thing is, it becomes very complicated to read and maintain when someone else writes the regular expression and you have to read it and interpret what it is doing here, right? And at the same time, there are inbuilt functions. You can use a split, or you can try to slice a string and get your actual output that you are trying to search from the main string. So instead of just running through a regular expression, there are built-in libraries also which are more faster than regular expression. So it's up to you to decide where you want to use a regular expression or you want to use the built-in libraries. There will obviously be performance issues when you are doing some long greedy patterns, greedy pattern regular expression. So be mindful while you are designing your scripts, right? Okay, so that's all I wanted to cover in the regular expression section. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for joining, guys. Bye bye.